There, just recording, yes. This is another sewing machine video. Different times I put up something about sewing machines, somebody will say, well boy, they'd like to get one of these or something to that effect, that they wouldn't mind getting in to do some projects, do some hobbies. Well, it's a pretty easy thing to do. These machines, for the most part, are not that expensive. Many of the ones you're looking at here, everything in this room except that one right there has sewed. That one I haven't fiddled with yet. I'm positive that it will. It's just a matter, it's a Singer 206. It was the first Singer that would do a, oh God, I can't think of the word I want, a you know what I mean? Not important. Most of these are straight stretch. That'll do a zigzag, the zigzag stitch. That was the first one that they built that would do one, which was a copy of the FAF 130. Well, you're saying what to buy, what to buy, what to buy. You know, if you're out and about and somebody says, geez, hey, you know, I got this sewing machine I want to get rid of. Nobody's used it in years, and it's a Kenmore, it's a Brothers, it's a, probably if it's a Kenmore, it's made by Voight or Brothers, and it dates back to all steel machines. Grab it, it'll sew, if it's all there. All you gotta do is get some oil, check the wiring, make sure the wiring's good. I prefer the Singer, oh I like that FAF 130 awful well, but those aren't that easy to come up with. Those are kind of rare. They can demand quite a price, but the price of sewing machines is all over. Just because you get on Craigslist and somebody has an antique treadle, and a lot of times they'll be the 66, the red eye stencil, and they'll want anywhere from $150 to $600 for it. I don't know if they ever sell for $600. But if you're willing to pay $600 for a treadle, please come and see me. I'll save you some money and I'll make a lot of money. You can get these older Singers cheap. Now, if you go back to a video I had, something on restoring a Singer 201, there's kind of an interesting discussion with a person on there that was telling me I didn't know what I was doing restoration. Well, that's fine. Because I don't put the effort into that some people do that do restorations, because they're simply not worth it. As this machine stands right there, I paid 50 bucks for the machine and the cabinet in it, beautiful cabinet. The attachments, the drawers were full of stuff, thread, scissors, it was in there. 50 bucks. I haven't done anything to it but oil it and plug it in for $50. So tell me, why would I pay a professional $400, $500, $600 to restore this machine? There's nothing wrong with it. It just needed some oil and away you go. That's a Singer 1591, by the way. That is my favorite machine to use. We're not going to throw through 9 layers of 3/4 inch plywood for you. I see that in a lot of the demos and I have to laugh. Whenever you're sewing, for one thing, these were not a commercial machine. These were a residential home machine. They have been used. You know, dressmakers, industrialized people did use them. There are industrial model machines out there. Those do bring more money, but still can be found pretty reasonable. I think I'm going to put my 29K on this video because that's one that will sew. You know, that'll take 2 pieces of leather like that and we'll sew it together. These with the proper needles and the proper thread will do it, but they were not designed or intended to do it. Would I do it? Probably not. Not with that needle that's in that machine. That's a 14 needle. It's for lighter thread. It's for lighter material. That's a Singer 201. Another great machine if you can get your hands on. And they will sew 6 layers of, we'll do that here in a minute. They'll sew right through 6 layers of canvas like nothing. If you want to make bags, make a backpack. I made this backpack here. I used this machine right here to do it, the 1591. It's wool through and through. Some places I'm going through 4 and 5 layers. I used a little heavier needle, a little heavier thread than I'd normally use. I sewed the straps and everything on it. That's a 201. Those are what they call potted motors. No belt. If you do get one of those and the motor's bad, you're kind of screwed. They are what they are. You can treadle them. You can pull this off. You can put a spoked wheel and treadle them. You don't even have to put a spoked wheel. You can treadle them. This is a Singer Featherweight. That machine will demand more money. I'm not going to say you can't get one. My wife and I once picked one out of a yard sale for $5. That particular machine right there I paid $35 for. It has the numbered plate, which is desirable for a featherweight. They're a little hard to come by. That's heavy canvas. I have no problem. I mean, if you want to see it, do it. It doesn't serve a great purpose to me to do this because I know it'll do it. Has no problem sewing through 4 layers. Has a nice little stitch. There's the front. There's the back. No problems whatsoever. I probably should have had the camera on a tripod to do this, but you can see, you know, if you're building a backpack or whatever, that's just some crappy, but you can see it's heavy stuff. I mean, usually they're going through 6 layers of denim. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I've done it over here with this treadle. This treadle will do it. And that's got heavy thread in it that you'd be using in this type of an air. If we didn't unthread it, that's good. I'm going to attempt to do this one-handed. It's a little noisy with that size thread in it. As you can see, that would be 8 layers it just went through. This is a Singer 66. Not a high dollar machine, not a lot of interest. If you're looking at the Singer 66 and it's one in a treadle case and the back of it has that casting into it, that hole, you can get on eBay and for 17 bucks you can buy the motor and the foot controller and a belt and they work good. For $17 they work good. Another great machine, but it doesn't have to be a Singer. It can be a Kenmore. Made some great machines. Those don't demand much money. I'm going to get some hate comments on for saying this online because there's some people that try to convince people these are worth thousands of dollars. I wish they were because I have a lot of them. I don't sell machines. I gift them to people, but I don't sell them. Those there demand a fair price, those little featherweights. But other than that, they don't. Usually, ones we pay for, we are in the $25 to $35, $40 range that we pay, and then there has to be something special about it. Many of these treadles, somebody will say, geez, come get it out of my way. You know, they tried to sell it, they've asked $150, there's been no interest in it, and that's in the shape of that one right there. $150 is tops if you're lucky. $125, $75, more like it. I know, I've just upset a whole world of people that have a lot of machines that they want to think is worth $800, $900. Well, if you can get it out of them, sell them. If you're willing to pay it, pay it. But I'm telling you, you can buy some great old steel machines, all solid steel machines that'll run and run and run for very little money. Well, I hope this is helpful. I'm getting to wandering a lot with my conversation. Like I said, that's my favorite. The 1591s were great machine. You can get a 15, standard Singer 15. I've got one in-house here. There's a 1588. There we go. Let's drag this one out, waste another minute. If you've watched this long, that's a Singer 1588 that was sold as a treadle. This was sold by Kenmore. and that's to convert it to electric. Works fine. I wished I would have set that up to show you. The belt is here. I'm not just sure where I put it because I usually treadle it when I'm using that one. But that's a Singer 1588. I salvaged that machine out of an old barn. That was the first one that I started with. I salvaged it out of an old barn. It was, I didn't even know it was all there. I brought it up and started cleaning and fiddling with it. Well, thanks for watching. This has gone on long enough. Now, for those that wish to sew two 2x4s together, that's kind of the machine you want right there. No, not really. That is a Singer 29. Some people call them a patcher. That one has the treadle base with it. I've got it stored here in the corner of the basement. I'm not going to dig it out. I don't use it. I have played with it a little bit. It came to me in a nice way. People had it. They wanted to sell it. They put a very reasonable price on it. I bought it. But now right there, if I won the lottery tomorrow, I'd box that up and I'd ship it to a guy in Texas that does leather work, because he probably could utilize that thing. I mean, that will sew right through 2 layers of that leather. It is treadle. You know, it's kind of stuff is stored like everybody's basement. There's the treadle and the hand wheel. And it also has the little benches with it. But I mean, I may play with it again. I've bought some needles for it, a couple bobbins. It's all set to go. It's just dusty because it's in my basement. But, you know, when I talked about earlier about everybody that demonstrates a machine shows it pounding through 7-8 layers of heavy material. You know, like I said before, that's not real critical, but that machine right there, you know, if those machines I showed earlier will sew through 6 layers of denim, they'll probably sew through a 2x4 if you wanted it to, but I don't see the purpose. Anyway, I just thought I'd add that into this.